phone. There you go. Didn't want to forget that. Didn't want to have the mistakes. There we go. Put a channel on because I had that board up. There we go. Mistake free. Almost. Greetings. It's Thursday night. This was on, but it was not what I expected at all. Again, no one tells me crap. Major disappointment. They did not put me in the key role. Either it will be one of those short reels or something, I guess, or I hit the cutting room floor. I don't know. I'm going to try and reach out and see what happened. But yes, barely any me in the last episode. So that's what you get for having my hopes up that I was going to be a featured player this episode. Not even close. How's everybody doing? Excellent. Well, once again, it is that time. July 31st, episode 61, 210th day of the year. Winding down 2025. August 1st tomorrow. Crazy crap. August 21st. All right, let's see. I was looking at stupid lists of things. Things that kids in the 60s could do that kids can't now. Drive a manual transmission. Well, that's because there aren't very many. Use a rotary phone. I mean, there aren't any rotary phones. I have one over here. Look at this. I've got an old one right there. I could show you with my camera if I turn this one over that way. Let's see if I can do that. Is it right? Look, there it is. See in the corner? Right there. Look at that. That black thing right there. Rotary phone. Historical documents. Let's see. Cursive. That's true. I mean, people can't write for squat. So that's a thing. I do write. I always take copious notes. So writing, that's one. I'll give it that one. Read a paper map. We don't use paper maps, but everybody needs to be a wayfinder. I guess, that would be it. Also, like reading time manually, you think, because people can't read watches. They're used to digital numbers. So that too. Give change without using a calculator or the machine. That's a tough one. I see that happen all the time. People have to look at the machine to get the change. Come on. It's not that hard, people. A little subtraction. Card catalog, that's no, because that's obsolete. Car repairs and minor repairs of things. Yeah, you used to be able to repair stuff, but I mean people that had were like, how do I jumpstart a car? Had an intern, ice cream truck would always break down. Broke down at the gas station. They went to jumpstart it, got the wires crossed, melted the wires at a gas station at the gas pump. Dangerous. Literally melted the wires. They hooked up the positive to the negative and the wires got so hot they melted. Yeah. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. Let's see. Who's buzzing me? Who's saying something here? Yup. Have them. Someone just texted me, crutches? Seriously, not kidding. Crutches? Have them right there. Yes. They must have seen the video. Because they're watching. But that's it right there. Yes, look. See, there's crutches. See? I have crutches. Right there. Oh, crap. Something fell. Ooh, that was a speaker. That's not a good one. But yes, minor repairs and like meeting people in like public settings, door-to-door meetings. Yeah, because everyone's like, you hook up on the internet. You don't meet like out at a restaurant or whatever. So there you go. Interesting. All right. Today is National Intern Day. So that's how I started my crazy radio career as an intern. I was the non-paid kid that worked at the radio station. I was one of the very first interns to work there, believe it or not. And parlayed that into owning the radio station eventually. A lot of stuff in between. Someday I'll tell the story. Not tonight. Not in the mood. Just not feeling it. It's also National Avocado Day, so I did have avocado. I had guacamole because I had tacos. It's also Chili Dog Day. I had a chili dog because I went to the hot dog place and got a chili dog. It's Mutt Day. I have a mutt. And it's Raspberry Cake Day. Didn't have raspberry cake. Now, tomorrow is Water Balloon Day, National Water Balloon Day. Okay. National Congressional Startup Day, but the dates change. Don't know, don't care. It's National Mahjong Day. I think it's like dominoes. I've played it, I think. Don't really know that much. Respect Parents Day. Okay. And then it's National Raspberry Cream Pie Day, which it was National Raspberry Cake Day today. And then National Girlfriends Day. I guess that's girlfriends. It's not like guys having a girlfriend. It's Girlfriends Day. You know, like Sex and the City girlfriends. So there you go. We'll deal with that. So Heinz, yeah, what the hell, man? Just that didn't happen. On my concert news stuff today, 10 years ago, saw this. The explosions, the excitement, Live and Let Die. That was Paul McCartney playing Lollapalooza. I guess Cage the Elephant was doing a set tonight, Thursday night. But July 31st, 10 years ago, Lollapalooza, Paul McCartney belted it out. The set list did like 2 straight hours. I mean, you got to give the man credit. He's not, young. But look at this set list, okay? This is a crazy song. I'm going to pop it up from setlist.fm. If you've never heard of that, this is the place to get it if you want to see set lists for shows. Look at this. Magical Mystery Tour, Save Us. Got to Get Back in My Life. Let Me Roll It. Paperback Writer, My Valentine, 1985. Maybe I'm Amazed. I've Just Seen Your Face, 45 Seconds. We Can Work It Out. And I Love Her. Blackbird, Here Today. Queen Eye, Lady Madonna. Element of Rigme. Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite, Something Obla Di Obla Da, Band on the Run, Back in the USR, Let It Be, Let It, Live and Let Die, that's what the fireworks were, Hey Jude, then the encore, Hi, 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 Can't Buy Me Love, Get Back, Helter Skelter, Golden Slumbers, Carry the Weight, and The End. 32 songs. 32 songs by Mr. McCartney. 2 hours and like 8 minutes, nonstop. He did not take a break, did not talk, was not up there all yappy, just played. Pretty impressive. My friend Amy said also that 11 years ago, 1975, or 11 years ago, 2014, we saw the 1975, I think, for the first time. There you go. That was, I think, also maybe at Lollapalooza. I don't know. I don't remember that one. I just remember 1975. But yeah, so Paul McCartney playing his heart out at Lollapalooza, which is happening now, this weekend in Grant Park in Chicago. So if you're there, have fun. I miss being there. What else happened? Oh, okay. This I found to be kind of funny. And these are all, I'll get to my list of stuff that happens historically. I just fell down the current rabbit hole of crazy crap. High noons got mislabeled as Celsiuses. Somebody apparently in some place where they bottle this stuff sent them the wrong cans. So a bunch of high noons got labeled as Celsiuses. Ohio's one of the states. So if you get one, there you go. They said nobody has any ill effects yet. Yeah, because everyone's hammered because they're like, oh, these Celsius are really working great tonight. I'm like, wow, isn't that a to do? Someone will sue somebody over that. Just that is going to be a lawsuit because, Celsius, you don't have to be 21. So someone's going to say, my kid got drunk and got into a car accident or something. And they're going to sue this manufacturer or somebody, and someone's going to get sued for this. It's just rife with that lawsuit frenzy. So, weak last episode. I know, totally weak. I agree. Weak last episode. Sad. I was very unhappy with that weak last episode. And then I also saw that Spinal Tap 2 is coming out. I mean, okay, that should be interesting. They're still alive. They're just really old now. That first one came out in 1984. 94, and that's okay. That's a few years back. Anyway, remember Nigel on the Marshall amp, because we talked about Marshall the other day. Marshall amps was the guy was Marshall. Remember Nigel said about the amp because he pointed it's 11. He goes, well, it's one louder. And he said, well, why not just make 10 louder? And then Nigel hesitated and he basically said, they go to 11. I have a pin that is a knob off of an amp that's 11. Because. But yes, Spinal Tap 2, so that should be fun. I'm looking forward to that. I have not seen, I saw that the new Liam Neeson Naked Gun came out. It's coming out, or is out. I don't know. Hopefully it gets good reviews. I'll see that when it comes to HBO. Happy Gilmore as well. I don't go to the movies. I just, don't have time to, and sitting at a theater. Maybe I will. I don't know. Last time I think I went to a movie theater was like Joker. I went by myself, sat in the theater and watched Joker. All right. So speaking of Beatles and lawsuits and other stuff, history. All right. So 1932, Cleveland christened their new stadium, Municipal Stadium, with 76. This is the Indians. The thing is already open. But the first baseball game was christened on July 31st of 32. 76,000 people attended. And of course, this was, the precursor to them. They lost. The precursor to them losing all the time. And and then it was demolished in 3-1 of 97. So that was that. 1966, banned the Beatles. 2 Alabama radio stations went forth to ban the Beatles because John Lennon made a quip about Christianity will go. I didn't dive down deeper to that, but he basically said, Christianity will go. And Alabama radio stations wanted to ban the Beatles. Get rid of the Beatles. In 1967, I found this to be funny too. Mick Jagger and Keith Richards were both released from jail for 1 month. Spent 1 month in jail in the UK for drug charges. Now, it doesn't say what drug charges. I didn't look, but drug charges. I'm like, okay, so was it weed? What's going on here? Okay. 1969, Elvis hits the stage for the first time after an 8-year hiatus. Played 57 shows over 4 weeks in Las Vegas at the new Intercontinental Hotel. Good old Elvis. 73, more Beatles, more Rolling Stones. This one, Keith Richards, Country Home, Red House, was damaged by fire for the second time in 9 years. Severely damaged. Now, the reason they said, which I thought was pretty this from mice. Okay. I guess that could be the mice could chew the wire, or careless smoking while intoxicated. Mice, careless smoking while intoxicated. Mice, careless smoking while intoxicated. I'm going with the latter. I don't think it was the mice. I think it was probably careless smoking while intoxicated. That would fall under the heading of death by misadventure if anyone died in that moment. That's all I'm saying. Speaking of drug charges, John Phillips of the Mamas and the Papas was arrested on this day in 1980 on drug charges. Again, I think it's just weed. I haven't looked at any of them, but I don't think everyone was doing heavy drugs back then, but I could be wrong. Okay? In 1993, Dickie Betts of the Allman Brothers was arrested for shoving 2 cops. So lots of arrests, lots of jail stuff happened late in the summer, apparently. Simon and Garfunkel did a free show in Rome on this day in front of the Roman Colosseum. 600,000 people attended. The largest Simon and Garfunkel show ever. Can't imagine why. 600,000 to see Simon and Garfunkel seems like a lot. I think all of Europe must have shown up for a free show. And then Bruce Springsteen in 2012 performed his longest show ever in Helsinki, Finland. 4 hours and 6 minutes. That's a long time to be rocking on stage. You think he's giving a congressional speech or something. 4 hours and 6 minutes. In 95, Disney acquired Capital Cities, $19 billion, which then gave them ABC, ABC Sports, ESPN, ESPN2, and of course, all the other ESPNs now that exist. 1971, astronauts took a 6.5-hour joyride on the moon. uh, from Apollo 15 as they bounced around the lunar surface on that crazy car of theirs. 1988, the Playboy Club, last one in Lansing, Michigan, closes forever, leaving Hugh Hefner with his empire without a place to go. Good old Hugh Hefner. There are crazy stories about Hugh, how controlling he was and everything else. What a crazy old man he became. I mean, he wasn't. He was already kind of a crazy old man, but I mean, it was Hugh Hefner. All right, so birthdays. Hugh McDowell of ELO. Daniel Ash of Bauhaus. Billy Berry of REM. Malcolm Ross of Aztec Camera. Janice Johnson of Primal Scream. Fatboy Slim. John 5 of Rob Zombie. Will Chapin of Coldplay. Now, that's where I was going to get to the lawsuit part. So, that guy that from Astronomer that got videotaped and subsequently created a problem for him because he was there with not his wife on the Jumbotron. And people are like, he's going to sue and this and this and this. I don't know about you, but back of the tickets long ago, right there, have all sorts of little things on here because it has these little things about, I don't know, blah, 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 blah. I think you give up that right. I don't think it matters that you are there. If you're in that place, you're subject to being filmed. So I don't think they have even the slightest leg to stand on. I mean, anybody can sue anybody, but I don't believe that one has any merit. And I don't think it will have any merit because, again, you are there. You're in a public place. There is no assumption of privacy, whether you're in a box or not in a box. If you're walking down the hall, there isn't. So I don't know. I think that's the way that works. That'll come back when I'll talk about the flock. I didn't get a picture of the flock today. But I think it's the same way. You're kind of in the public view. You really aren't going to have much luck suing people with that anymore. It doesn't work like that. Just saying. Also today, Zach Brown, M. Shadow of Sevenfold, Ted Cassidy, Lurch. If you remember Lurch from the Addams Family, he was only 6'9". I thought he was taller, but anyway, Michael Biehn from Aliens. He was what was his name? Reese. Well, he was also Reese in Terminator. I always liked that. Wesley Snipes and Dean Cain. All birthdays today. The only people that died today that I found of any significance was Roddy Rowdy Piper. Came here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum. From the movie Them, which really got panned when it first came out. People really didn't think it was great, but then it got a lot, as people watched it more, and later on it became more critically acclaimed for its social recognition of, them, with that whole wearing the glasses thing, putting it on and seeing all of the blinders were on, and the lizard people, and, the skeletons and everything, and consume. I always thought that was a fun movie. Good old Roddy Piper. He can't sue. He ain't going to win. Right. Well, he can sue. He ain't going to win. That's correct. Don is right on, spot on that one. He's not going to win. That's just not how that works. It's just not how it works at all. It's interesting that we had, over time, we've had people ask us to remove pictures from our website and stuff, that we would have pictures of people that we would take when we'd be at concerts or whatever. And occasionally we'd have someone call and be like, hey, take my picture down. We'd be like, no. Well, you can't have my picture up here. It's like, yeah, you were in a public setting. Unfortunately, yes, we're not going to take your picture down. Sometimes we would, but if it was like a picture that had a lot of background or something that mattered, we're like, no, you're in a public setting. That's not how that works. You can't, we don't have, you can't tell us to take a picture down. That just isn't, it doesn't work like that. especially if you're at a concert or something like that. You are definitely in public view, and you're pretty much exposed. That's how that works. And that sort of goes into what I'll talk about in the flock. The flock is basically this camera system that you don't see them, but they're everywhere. They're appearing a lot more in public places, and it is absolutely Big Brother, without a question. I'm compiling all the information about it just so I can share it accurately, so it doesn't seem like I'm being a conspiracy theorist. But it's very interesting. It really is that how these fairly innocuous moments that we have in our lives are available for public scrutiny that you really don't, you may not want to, but that's tough. Just like, red light cameras, cameras when you go through toll booths, they take a lot more than your license plate. They get who's in your car, because they want to see like, I wasn't driving that car. It's like, that's you behind the wheel, isn't it? Unless you're covering yourself or wearing a mask or something. They have some pretty good high-res pictures of you going through that stop sign or of you going through that toll booth without paying, without your Easy Pass or whatever else. So, yeah, it's definitely one of those things where, you may want to sue, but publicly you aren't really going to have a whole lot of leg to stand on because of the fact that you are putting yourselves in those positions to have the pictures taken in the first place. So, very interesting. Just find that to be, I'm humored by it. At the same time, I sure you understand, like, you don't want to get in trouble, but, well, if you aren't doing, they always say, if you aren't doing anything wrong, then what does it matter? It just is that slippery slope, right? Because where does it become that you've gone over the edge and there's no turning back? It's, then becomes a nanny cam state, and everything, every movement, every action, everything that we say or do is filmed. Speaking of, I have a video. I don't think it's a good enough thing that I brought up to post. But driving today, some absolute jackass was trying to pass cars on the right and left. Could just trying to get it, like driving down a 2-lane road, and was like doing these things, and it's heavy traffic, and he cut over and cut back and cut the car in front of him off and tried to do the next one, and a van was like having none of it. Saw it, pulls over, blocks him, zooms back. So this guy's like, and I was like, what is this guy doing? I was like, wow, where's the instant karma for this guy? It was crazy. I actually drove out of my way. I went like an extra half mile to just kind of watch and see what the results of this insanity were going to be. It wasn't like I could do anything about it. I couldn't, phone the police and be like, hey, this guy, because he was going to be gone in a second and was. But it was just kind of nuts. I was just like, where is this person going? Drive it like you stole it. And I don't know if he did or didn't, but yeah, he was absolutely driving with a purpose, and not a good purpose. A crazy, I'm going to crash into anybody purpose. But that's not, it's neither here nor there. Like I said, I filmed it just to get his license plate in case something did happen, but then he was gone too fast because he was swerving and weaving, and I'll have none of that. I will not be involved in a road ragey incident by any sense of the word. You can cut me off and I'm just going to be like, jackass, but I will not go chasing them down. That's just asking for trouble. No, not me. Not my thing, man. Not my thing. So 0 luck on Struts tickets so far for next Wednesday. Again, not that I really cared, but, getting invited and then said, oh, you want to go to the Struts? I'm like, sure. Oh, we can't go to the Struts. God bless it. Was that really that long? And there it goes. I can't believe I lost that camera that quickly. It went off really fast this time. It didn't even last it went right at the 20-minute mark. Mistake free? No. I am just what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to switch cameras. I will do that as soon as I'm done tonight. I'm going to switch cameras, so that will stop happening. I'll have to change lenses, but I will switch cameras because it's become annoying. Well, the thing is then, once that camera goes off, though, I won't be able to turn it back on because it'll be so far away I'll have to leave camera to do it. A dilemma. A dilemma indeed. I'm not sure how I work around that one. Interesting. We'll have to see how that works. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I don't know. So this, oops, sorry, I have the wrong screen up over here because I could bring this up, back up, oh, up, up. Come on, up, larger, faster, less. See, this is why I need a producer. Secret and otherwise. There you go. So yes, I definitely was disappointed in the last episode. There was not that corporate headquarters thing. So maybe that'll be one of the shorts. Maybe that'll be a ancillary episode or one of the little things. The in-betweens. I don't know. But it was not tonight. And I thought it was going to be tonight. Apparently not. I have no control of the editing. So I apologize for misleading you and telling you that this was going to be this. And it absolutely was not that. Not even close. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I know if you switch cameras, we'll have to come up with a new drinking game. Oh, funny. All right. The new drinking game. I was unaware of that. Then I won't switch cameras. I'll just have to pay better attention. Like I said, I'm going to have to number these things and put a timer there so I can see that I have to do it at some point. When I switch cameras, I'll do it ahead of time. Or when I go to, I'll go to like this. So when I'm there, I can do this with the camera and change it. And you won't even know it. And then I can come back to this. See, that's what I'll have to do. But that requires me to actually pay attention. Pay attention, yes. Did not sleep very well. Don't know what's going on. Way too much stuff on my brain. I think it's all that. August coming, fall's coming. All the things. So I'm just, I'm having a restless period in my brain. I cannot get settled on anything. ADHD is kicking in hard when it comes to trying to get things done. Again, that whole, what's today's date? Oh, today's Thursday the 31st. I know it's Thursday because of the whole Heinz verified thing, but besides that, no idea. Not sure when I'll figure out what day it is. I am going to try and go to the fair, but after watching, there was the video of that ride that broke. I'm thinking I don't think I'll go on the ride that looks like that. I'm sure if you saw any social media, there was that crazy ride that broke, like this spinning kind that looks like a pendulum. It snapped. Yikes. And again, the fair, where there was an injury some years ago at the Ohio State Fair. I'll have to be wary of the rides I go on, I guess. If that's when the final destination call happens, I guess that's what happens, right? You can't really make that call. It's just, if that's the way it works, if there is in fact this preordained lapse of time that we have left, and when it goes, it goes. So I don't know. I'm not sure when that is. We'll figure it out. Or we won't. Who knows? I'm not sure how that works. I mean, I know how that works. I drove an ambulance. I've seen how it works. I just don't know how it works personally because, if you know that you, in fact, die unless you're that slow, long decline or I don't know. Anyway, we're not going to go there. There's no reason to whatsoever in any way, shape, or form to talk about any of that crazy stuff because I don't really have the desire to. I did look to see about Demolition Derby, to see if I could find to be a driver. No luck yet, but I am absolutely looking to pursue that. To me, that sounds like that would be the way to go. Not having to have my own car, having somebody else have the car, that I am just the driver for at least one heat. I don't need to be in 10 heats, but just one time, so I can put that on my resume of Demolition Derby driver. Because again, the whole idea of the day tripping was verifying for Heinz, and, so what Steven did. Mike Rowe has dirty jobs, but I'm just going to have the RANDSANITY. So, put on my resume of things that I've done. So I think I was going to start getting a list of things that I've done. I always see those lists of like states you visited, things that you've done, get a point for and whatever. And I'm always like, okay, so, take off 1 point for everything. How much do you have? I was like, I have 0 points. I have absolutely no points. Or put down a point for a time. I have 20 points. I have all 20. Because yes, my idea of would have, could have, should have is very low. That impulse control has the issue. That's where the ADHD, I think, is the problem. It's the impulse control, that I don't have good impulse control. So that's what gets me in trouble. In general, it gets me in trouble. So I think I would have to figure out how I can use that to do good things, that good impulse control, how does that work in a positive way? No impulse control. How does that work in a positive way? We used to, now I've done this with a couple of friends, used to take a pair of dice, and I think someone did this, but let the dice determine like an evening. Okay, do we go here or do you go here? Odds or evens. Okay, boom, you do this. All right, what are we going to do? We're going to do this, or this. Roll the dice, okay? How many miles are we going to drive? You roll the dice, Okay, you rolled 12, so we're driving 120 miles. And that's, so I've done that before, where just let dice randomly deal with your evening. Good things have happened out of that one, and bad things have happened out of that one. But that's, I think one of those things that you can find whatever you're looking for when it comes to the randomness of impulse control. So we'll see. I have to deal with some things this week coming up as the summer hits its, I guess it's toward the end. I mean, Labor Day is what? 30 days away now? That's crazy. If there's 104 days in summer, that means we're well past the halfway point, and we're on the downward slope in that respect. So anyway, I don't have a ton this evening. I'm just kind of, like I said, I didn't sleep well. My brain's a little bit off, so I'm not going to dive into anything too ridiculous tonight. I think I'm just, the whole guy in the van thing tonight just kind of set me. Because I was just like expecting a much bigger thing, and I was all ready to talk about that and some of the stuff that happened. But now I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's not, we'll have to look for that another day. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that's about that. I'll talk about Flock tomorrow or over the weekend. Just because it's the whole AI thing. And Big Brother. Started watching. Someone was talking to me about today. I was talking about someone who wants cameras set up at their business. And I was like, yeah, we used to have cameras everywhere. Literally, I had 16 cameras set up at the radio station. They were indoors, they were outdoors, they were in the building, they were outside the building. They covered every single door, inside the door, outside the door. Crazy stuff. You don't suspect or expect. But yeah, you catch the craziest crap when cameras are rolling all the time. I always had a dash cam, and I always caught the craziest crap in my car. Car crashes, people doing stupid crap that you just don't even think about. But then you watch it later, you're like, oh man, that was ridiculous. So yeah, that constant video surveillance definitely creates moments of crazy crap, for sure. So anyway, that's all I have for you this evening. And I'm going to let everybody go and get a good night's sleep, as I'm going to try myself. Because again, like I said, I think it's kind of got up too early on Wednesday, and my sleep pattern was blown by getting up at like 7 because I went to bed way too late, and it just has not shifted back yet. So I'm going to have to shift it back. What can I say? Anyway, thank you. I will look forward to you tomorrow. I will try and be less off Again, my apologies. A tutto lor. And as always, we fade to black. Oh, is that gum? Oh, man. I literally just put my hand in gum. Gross. I mean, it's my gum, but... Find new place to put